Hello everybody, welcome back to Collection Gaming, and today I wanted to make a video on something that I actually really enjoyed. So the other day I took the time to watch Whiplash. Now, I've seen a lot of clips about Whiplash and a lot of people saying it's one of the greatest movies ever. And I was like, you know what it looks like is, it looks like a movie about a drummer, and you know, he's like, he wants to, he has like a particular purpose in life. He doesn't want to die without anyone knowing who he is. He cares more about the fame than the money, blah blah blah. And then you have his teacher, right? You have Fletcher, who is let's just say, like, basically, if you saw the clips and you hadn't watched the movie yet, you'd think that Fletcher was just like the type of person to just teach via tough love. But I can safely say that, having gone into the movie, it kind of does butcher all expectations, and it's a very good movie, right? So it came out in 2014, I believe. Now, if you didn't already know, obviously this is going to have spoilers. I can't actually show any proper footage from the movie because of like copyright and stuff, and you know, I don't really want to play around with any of that stuff. You know, I don't really know too much about what I'm doing, but I know not to do that. But I want to start off by talking about Fletcher. Fletcher's played by the amazing J.K. Simmons. Very good actor, very good voice actor, and very good actor. He's very good. He's got one of the best voices in in the Hollywood industry. He's got one of the best voices. He genuinely does, and I love how he always plays very complex people, right? I swear to God, he always plays people that aren't, like, they're not bad, but they're not good either. He's always playing those types of people, and he does a very good job. And you know, even though he plays the same types of people, he delivers like a new performance every time, and it's also always like very, you know, pleasing to watch. And I want to talk about Neiman, right? So Andrew Neiman is the protagonist, and he's got like a very, you know, boring life. You know, except for music, he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have friends. I guess he has, like, you know, peers at the like the music school he goes to, but he doesn't really have friends. His mum left him, so he doesn't even have a mum. All he has is his dad, who kind of does care about him, but his dad's not, like, you know, his dad doesn't really see eye to eye with him. Not eye to eye with him, yeah. And then he has his, like, family. I think that, I can't remember what, like, if there is cousins or, like, uncle and aunt or whatever, but they're, like, you know, like, apart from the aunt, they're, like, not very nice either. So yeah, he's, like, kind of like, they're at the dinner table in this one scene, and obviously all the shine's on them, like, oh yeah, I did this, me, we did this, yeah, my kids did this today. And, like, I guess the dad's trying to be a bit nice, but Andrew's kind of like, yeah, I did this, and he's trying to one-up them, because, like, he knows that all the attention's on them, and it's pissing him off. He's basically saying, well, fuck you guys, you know, let me show you what I've done. And obviously, not being musicians, they don't really see the glory. They're like, you know, what the fuck are you talking about? He does start speaking to this girl throughout the movie, Nicole. He meets her at the cinema, or the movie theater, and she's like, what are they called? Fuck, I forgot the name. The box. Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but she's basically like the person who sells tickets, I think, like, gives people popcorn and drinks and stuff. And he, like, finally, like, gathers up the courage to ask her out, and she agrees, and, you know, they hit it off, and they get along, and they talk about stuff, and, you know, all is nice. And obviously, at the music school, you have, like, Fletcher, who's, like, this big name. You know, he's like, oh, he's the one person that you need to impress if you want, like, any chance. So that's what he tries to do. And then Fletcher kind of takes over their what's it called? Their performance, right? So they have this performance that they're gonna do, and he takes over, right? He takes over as composer. So he starts composing, and he has a very strict way of dealing with it, right? Now, this isn't just tough love. This isn't tough love where your coach is like, oh, that was shit, you could do a lot better. Like, Fletcher will get in your face, start slapping the shit out of you, basically start saying you're stupid, you're gay, you know, you're a fucking sissy, and he'll genuinely, like, he'll look like he's going to beat the shit out of you if you don't do this performance, right? And yeah, so obviously, like, that's obviously not allowed, you know, like, you can't do that as a teacher. It's against the law, I guess, you know, to abuse, like, your power like that. But the students don't really care, especially Neiman. He doesn't care, as long as, like, he knows, like, somewhere in the back of his head that, like, Fletcher just wants him to be the best version of himself. So he's okay with it, and he basically lets Fletcher abuse him. Until Fletcher basically starts threatening to take him off of the drums, or off of, like, the primary drummer, right? So he wants to make him secondary drummer, and he doesn't want that. He wants to be the primary one. He wants the shine to be on him. And there's this one scene where they're about to do the performance, and he has to buy a rental car, right? Or Neiman has to rent a rental car to get to the venue. And he gets there, and he doesn't have his drumsticks, and he's arguing with Fletcher. He's like, you fucking twat, you let me play this, you know, cunt. And Fletcher's like, alright, fine. So he goes back to the rental place, I think, where he left his drumsticks, and on his way back, he's not focusing on the road, and, like, a truck slams into him and, like, turns him, you know, turns the car upside down. So yeah, he pretty much, like, this truck pretty much comes along and totals the car. And he just, like, gets out from underneath it. He's like, I need to go to the venue, and just fucking, like, runs there. Which is, you know, kind of badass, to be fair. Like, that is very good dad law. Like, I'd love that. Like, I wouldn't like it to happen to me at the time, but, you know, if it had happened to me, I'd be like, yeah, that's a cool story, and I'd tell the kids. But yeah, he runs to the venue, and he basically sees that Fletcher's put someone else on the primary drummer, and he gets fucking pissed. Oh, no, sorry, no, that was my memory not serving me correct. No, he does get a chance to be the primary drummer, but obviously, because he's, like, nearly fucking passing out because of blood loss and stuff, and because of trauma, Fletcher's like, instead of asking him if he's okay, he's basically like, you're out. And like, Neiman's fucking mad, so he, like, rugby tackles Fletcher, and he's there like, you fucking dick, and they pull him off. And one thing I found really poetic was that there was one scene where Fletcher was, like, crying about a student's death, like an ex-student's death, and he died through, like, via a car accident. And obviously that's what, like, Neiman was in. You know, he nearly fucking died from that. After that, Neiman basically, you know, tells his, I guess his dad finds out that, you know, like, his dad kind of already knew that Fletcher was a bit of a tosser. So he tells this woman, and apparently there's, like, already been an investigation. Oh, shut the fuck up! There's already been an investigation. No, I'm joking. I'm not actually mean to my dogs, but there's this investigation on Fletcher because of his, you know, certain ways of teaching, and apparently the ex-student didn't actually die in a car crash. He died from suicide. He died from a hanging. Like, Neiman's like, well, that's, you know, a bit tough, but he doesn't care. He doesn't want to tell on Fletcher, but then he starts to realise, like, you know what, Fletcher is a piece of shit, I'm going to tell on him. So he basically snitches. he snitches on the opposition, right? And then a while after, I guess he kind of feels sad because he sees that Fletcher has obviously been fired, and he's performing at, like, local venues now for people. So he decides to go in and see him, and then, like, Fletcher recognises him. They talk. Fletcher basically says that he thinks that an ex-student, not Neiman, had ratted on him. So they get along, and then basically he tells Fletcher, he tells Neiman, he's like, right, one of my drummers for this show that we're doing is like, you know, he's bad, he's, like, fruitless, and he's like, do you want to do it? And he's like, yeah, sure. And when he gets there, or he invites Nicole's like, yeah, sorry, I have a boyfriend, and he's like, yeah, fuck. And then that's it from the end of the movie. Like, you think maybe that in the movie, like, she'll come back to him and they'll get along. No. That's what I'm saying. It butchers expectations. Like, it's genuinely a very good movie. Like, it's realistic to the point where, like, you know, not all the time you're gonna get to be happy. But anyway, it's sense of venue anyway. And basically, Fletcher's like, we're going to play Whiplash, which, you know, the name of the movie is also the title of the song they're composing, right? So he brings the papers for Whiplash, but it turns out that they're not even doing Whiplash, they're doing another song, and Fletcher had orchestrated this because he knew that Neiman had ratted on him. So he's given like Neiman the wrong notes, and Neiman's like pissed because he can't even play, and he like basically plays this generic universal beat, and everybody's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he goes to walk off and he hugs his dad because he's pissed, and then he's like, nah, fuck it. And then he goes in there and performs one of the longest, if not the longest, drum solos I've ever heard. Me and my dad were watching it, and I was like, fuck it. It was like 5-7 minutes in, and I was like, oh my god, he still hasn't finished. Like, if I was in the audience of that place, I wouldn't even be impressed, because, like, yeah, I guess it was a good drum solo, but, like, well, I mean, I don't know, I'm not really, like, a drummer or anything, I don't know the art behind drumming or anything, but I guess it was alright, you know, to keep it on for that long, and to, like, abuse your hands like that was pretty cool, I guess. But I'd just be bored at that point. I think I'd walk out. And like Fletcher starts going along with it. He's like, oh yeah, shit, I can do something with this. And then the movie ends with him like ending on the note, and like Fletcher like kind of smiles at him, like, you know, giving him some clarity, and then that's where the movie ends. So it's very weird. Like, Fletcher's obviously this big piece of shit. Earlier on, when they met at that local venue, he basically tells Neiman that he thinks that you know, he thinks to die without having shown any talent is such a tragedy, which it is, of course. And you know, he's like, this is why jazz is dying, and basically that's kind of his justification and his reasoning behind being like such a you know, an overachiever, and he wants everybody else to be an overachiever. And it's like, I can kind of get it, but he's a dick. Like, you know, he doesn't, you know, he's in a bad mood pretty much all the time. And like, you can give tough love without, you know, doing it for that long. Like, he didn't need to do it for that long. So it's, you know, like, it's just a good movie. I don't really know how to explain it without, you know, without like showing any footage or whatever. But I totally recommend people go watch it. It's on Netflix. Very good. J.K. Simmons, Miles Teller. Very, very good movie. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.